Hi there, it's time to look at SHIB through the Wyckoff lens again. And across the board, it's been all red today. Fortunately, SHIB, even though it's dropping, but it's trying to stay above the light blue key level of 78 with 5 leading zeros, of course. And let's take a look into where SHIB is and where it's heading and what additional information are the charts telling us in both weekly and daily time frame. If you're new to my sessions, here are the 3 key items I covered during the session. So let's start with the weekly chart. I've already mentioned about this 78 level. Remember, I'll skip the zeros for easier communication. Last week, I asked the question, is it stabilizing? As of this moment, I see the bulls and the bears are trying to battle around the same level. Okay, it has been fighting around this level for the 3rd consecutive week already. If the bulls are successful over here, meaning there are sufficient diamond hands, and the price aren't going to go any deeper. Look at the volumes over here. It's been declining for multiple weeks already. If it continue to stay low, this may be the final stage of the test. This may well be where the spring is. Okay, the very final shakeout before the price starts to recover. Alright, that's the very key stage that we're going through. Last time, not the 2024 accumulation, I'm talking about the 2022-23. Very long period of accumulation. Back then, the low points, it appeared 2 times. Okay, the first time it went through and closed below this white line. This is the bottom edge of the long-term playground zone. That sits at around 68 or 67, okay, with 5 leading zeros, okay? The second time it happened in October 2023, it came back to test the similar level, but then closes above this line. This time, 2 weeks ago, the price came below the light blue key level, not reaching to the white yet. I don't hope this round is going to test that low, but if it does, it's not something that hasn't happened before. Not only 2023 happened twice, the selling climax back in 2022 summer did something very close. Likewise for further ahead, like further past in time in September 2021, this level has been tested at least 3 to 4 times over the past 5 years. Okay, and this is where we are getting very close to now. But the volume itself is getting very low, so that's a good sign. Okay. Here, the big picture, while we're still waiting for the lowest point to come, assuming crypto is here to stay, because otherwise, why are we looking at these charts, right? We believe the comeback will come. That we will, the price will finally return to a reasonable level. So, we expect more tests to continue. This is what we hope for, the sign of strength, meaning the test to come back up or people buying in, pushing the price back to challenge this intermediate level of 15 with 4 leading zeros, or the 154. Okay, 150, 154. Let me add another 0 so we won't mistake this with the others. Alright, so this is what we hope for. This is a signal that this trade, the price is back to the defined trading range by the automatic rally and the selling climax. So meaning between the red key level of 113 and this level of 150 or 154. It's roughly around that range. That should be the sideways trading area. What's currently happening is the shakeout that if you believe SHIB is going to last, this price level is not going to last, okay? It's interesting. So either one of them last. But I believe you think SHIB is going to last and go back to a reasonable price level, right? So let's get to the daily chart. I brought in some text to let you know what's actually happening during those stages while I always talk about selling climax, second test, spring. So while we are in the accumulation cycle, let's move these distribution cycle behaviors or actions to the left hand side. What we are going through now is part of the prolonged testing periods of weak hands or diamond hands. Okay, if there are weak hands, obviously the price will continue to come down. If everybody becomes diamond hands, the price can't go any further. So this is the ultimate period for testing our patience or support for a particular project. And the sign of strengths are the ones that comes with or advance with price advancement with volume. Okay, that's what we're hoping to see. I explained just now. That's what we're hoping for. And then there are this cycle top I also touched on. That's the automatic rally where it defines the cycle top, this horizontal trading range top. And then panic over is the selling climax period, where we see lower volumes compared to the previous initial drop, where the preliminary support was where people continue to panic sell while the whales started to get in, scooping up whatever they want at a cheap price. Whales long, well, they're buying in along the accumulation, just that the backup last one support is probably where they last get in. Okay, we are not there yet for this cycle. We're waiting for that to happen. Now let's get to the distribution behaviors. Alright, so from the accumulation transiting to the PSY. PSY is actually where the whales started first selling. Look at this deep. Okay, these kind of selling wouldn't be just done by the retail investors. Right, the buying climax can go really crazy. That's where the retail FOMO pushing the price to an unimaginably high level. Of course, second test and there can be upwards of the distribution. Those are the periods for late FOMO or fake bull. And then the whales will offload, of course they offload along the way, but these are the occasions where they will finally offload everything they have left and just sit there and watch the price drop to the level where they start to, get in again, wait till the panic is over, and if you know the meme, here we go again. Alright? So, that's basically the cycles we have been through again, and again. Multiple rounds in the history of crypto since very early days, even before 2022. Of course, if you start early, the 2019, 20, 21 round was pretty impressive. So we have gone through 6 or 7 cycles already. Let's get to the daily chart. Here, we are seeing the price continue to trade along the downtrend or the air hockey table. I call this an air hockey table because if you imagine this is the puck traveling along the table, it bounces off both the edges as well as the center line. So previously, that's what happened around mid-November. Currently, it bounces off from the center line again, just trying to find support at around the 7-8 level. Okay, this light blue key level. Okay, if I move across, you see the 78. And that's what I say, let's hope while the price spread is high, the volume try not to follow, try not to rise. If it does, it's going to test, where these guys tested just a week or so ago. Let me adjust this box slightly so it's including the wicks. Alright, if this time the price is coming down now and doesn't hold above the 78 level, it's going to come down to test the white. But if it happens in the next few days, it's probably not going to immediately test the white line. It's potentially going to test this blue line first, and see whether it's going to bounce up to challenge the center line again. So for now, our hope is for the price not get to the 68 level, which is tested during the October 23rd, 2023, as well as June 2023, during that particular accumulation period. So I'm not going to repeat because I've already mentioned in the weekly chart, we have encountered these multiple times already. So let's hope this is the last point before the price resume to trade towards the automatic rally defined level of about 102 over here, as a first step. Of course, we wanted to get even higher to the level I said, above 150 or 154. Okay, so that's for the bigger picture. For the smaller picture in daily time frame, where we have experimental Wyckoff tags put in, that's purple key level is where we hope for, and yellow is the next step. Alright, that's the bigger trend change when that comes. Thanks for joining me. See you in other sessions.